reviewing the news, pop culture, video games, movies, and shoes. Quincy and Justin with a nerdy forecast. So stay a while and welcome to the Ugly Mugs Podcast.
Welcome to the Ugly Mugs Podcast. I'm your host, Justin.
I'm your other host, Quincy.
How you doing over there, Q?
Kind of tired today.
Yeah, it's super hot outside.
It's very hot outside. I had a kind of a long work day and stuff, so I'm a little zapped on the energy.
Well, yeah, we were trying to find some stuff before the cast, and there's not really much going on in the world.
It's a quiet week.
Very quiet week. So we're just gonna kind of, I don't want to say breeze through it, but it's gonna be a shorter one probably. Let's go ahead and get the Band-Aid off the thing. Oh wait, first, do you have anything special you're drinking?
I just have one of the normal Starbucks K-Cups. I think this one's the French roast.
I'm drinking water. Yum yum. I don't want to replay of last week. I was so jittery when we were done. But yeah, let's rip this Band-Aid off with Humble Bundle Monthly or Humble Choice is going to be kind of bumping up its prices a little bit, only $2 up from its $12.99 price to $14.99. I didn't know they had an annual price, but $154.99 for the annual plan, which saves you about $20-something. I mean, everything
sucks.
It sucks.
Everything goes up.
But you still donate, I believe it is 15% of this to charity, so $1.50 or no. 15% of 15 is $1. $1 goes to charity. Most of it, I'm sure, also goes to the publishers that publish those games. But
right,
you know. But I just hope Game Pass doesn't go up in cost again.
I mean, didn't it just recently? I feel like we just had one not too long ago, so I feel like we shouldn't expect one for a bit.
Knock on wood. But over on the other side of Humble Bundle, the bundle side of it, 2K Classic Trilogies, the Mafia and Bioshock Trilogies, Mafia 1, 2, 3, and Bioshock 1, 2, and Infinite, all for $18. I recommend Bioshock 1 and 2. I only played through Mafia 2 a little bit. I didn't like Mafia 3 so much, but I did say I was going to pop back into it.
I did not play Bioshock 3 Infinite, but I heard a lot of people did not like it.
I liked its gunplay, but that's about it. Story was a bit lacking. But if you happen to be into the combat of the things, I sincerely recommend them. At least Bioshock 1 and 2 is worth $18 alone. And this helps out Covenant House. Covenant House is the nation's largest movement providing food, shelter, immediate crisis care, and ongoing services to homeless and trafficked young people. Basically anything. Their continuum services include food, shelter, healthcare, legal services, educational services, employment training, mental health counseling, mother and child services, and long-term and permanent housing. I greatly appreciate them. And since 1972.
Nice.
But dude, this one I'm going to talk a little bit more about. The Serenity Forge Storyteller's Bundle. A lot of storytelling games with some interesting mechanics, such as Smile for Me, where you have to shake your head up and down or shake it left and right for a no to respond to very interesting characters, while also trying to figure out the darker secret within. Death's Gambit. I'm a huge fan of Death's Gambit, and Afterlife added a little bit more story-centric bits and bobs, while also having the Metroidvania feel to it. Paratopic, kind of like an analog horror meets Silent Hill meets. It's really hard to talk about Paratopic, but I recommend it. But something I recommend a little bit more of is called Lisa the Painful, and one that I need to play, Lisa the Joyful. Now, these two games start off rough and end even rougher. If you've ever played a Earthbound game, you may be familiar with its combat style, but these games hurt in a very interesting way. Both games start off with a very touching story that continues on. Fantastic music, fantastic art style. I enjoyed playing through Lisa the Painful. I probably have fun going through Lisa the Joyful. However, as mentioning with the music, along with purchasing these two, you get $5 off the Lisa the Vinyl collection, the 2 LP that are colored very interestingly, along with a cover of the artiste that is playing these grateful tunes in a almost horrific monstrosity way.
I mean,
That's
sure.
his knee goes above his head. That's a bit weird. Is that a knee or is that an elbow?
I honestly have no idea.
Even still, over at the Serenity Forge website, the 2 LP vinyl soundtrack is already on sale for $19.99 minus that $5. You're already hitting $15 for a 2 LP of a really good game. I recommend it very highly. And this helps out Children's Miracle Network hospitals with the nice little hot air balloon. The Children's Miracle Network Hospital raises funds and awareness for 170 member hospitals that provide 32 million treatments each year to kids across the U.S. and Canada. And of course, it mentions their $1 donation for their miracle balloon icons at certain places such as McDonald's, and I guess Bojangles does it as well over on the east side.
We got a Bojangles now.
Oh, we have to try it.
Go.
Yes.
I drive by it like 3 times a week on average.
I would like to try Bojangles. Sincerely, I would.
Yeah, we're going to go at some point.
Yes, we do. But ooh. Yeah. So Quincy and I have made it very well known that we really did not like Skull and Bones during its alpha beta.
It wasn't any of what it promised at all.
Like boat combat,
and that was after they rebuilt it from the ground up.
That is true. Now the boat combat was fine, but me and Quincy don't want to be on a boat 24/7. We like to explore and kind of go and see and go search for buried treasure. Sea of Thieves kind of hit that mark. Sea of
Thieves did a lot of what I want. There are downsides to Sea of Thieves still that led to me also not playing Sea of Thieves past a certain point.
Being poked and prodded by randos?
Yeah.
Well, good news.
The fact that there's no true safe area.
True. However, Crosswind says that the PvE will be open and available, etc., etc. You fight random ships, but they're actual enemies or places, or boats that you can board and steal things from that aren't other players. PvP is optional. They have listed this on their Steam, so that is an interesting thing to note. You can set up a camp You can set up a camp on an island, build an entire thing, farm. Build a dock so that way you can dock there and go as you please. I am very appreciative of that. It feels very Ark in that sense that there's no fast traveling, so you may have to travel everywhere on the boat. But if everything goes the way I would like for it to, this may be a good game. However, the trailer did not show with this alpha test that there is multiplayer. It didn't show it outright.
But it is alpha, so I mean, hopefully, that suggests it's pretty early still.
Yes, but I would like to, see some co-op ability. I would like to see some, lack of better words, emotes or ways to interact with other people if at possible. I would like to, see some Sea of Thieves-esque things with this much more boisterous style of swashbucklery. Also, the boat combat seems kind of fun. A lot more fun than the Skull and Bones. I was about to say Sword and Bones. Also, building your own home in a pirate game is also an interesting take.
Yeah, the crafting's definitely interesting.
And you can lifesteal. But dupe. Pal World. We had talked about this before the cast. Pal World and Nintendo having their weird beef. We
haven't heard anything on it in a while.
Have not even heard hide nor hair, but from what I can figure, it got dropped. Considering, I said we haven't heard anything.
Let me see. Curious if there's an actual confirmation on that.
Okay. While you're looking that up,
yeah.
Pal World and Terraria combine forces by having an interesting collaboration. At the very end of this really pretty good animated trailer, the Eye of Cthulhu pops out. A few features of this is you can tame the Eye of Cthulhu. And boy, oh boy, does it really... I have that fear where touching your eyeball. Yeah, and when you're petting the Eye of Cthulhu, you're touching the eyeball. Not a big fan of that.
So no, it is still going on. Nintendo's filing more patents against them, and they've actually had to remove certain game features because of it.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, I haven't also been keeping up with Power World either, so I may hop back in because they've added a lot since 1.0 dropped. I don't know. I'm gonna hop back in because I mean this is a free update, so we'll see. Power World and Tides of Terraria, and they also showed off a little bit of the classic Lathander armor, I believe is what his name is. I just don't want the eyeball touching. The eyeball touching is weird.
Here you go. So they had you can no longer summon your pals by throwing the pal sphere. They had to remove that because it was too reminiscent of throwing a Pokeball.
Fair.
Other changes were made without specifying what they were, but one of the changes that was coming in the next patch after this was going to be that you would no longer be gliding with your pal. You would have an actual glider.
Oh. That is kind of interesting. I mean, build a little glider.
Nintendo's not hurting for money.
No. Oh, especially when the Switch 2 has sold over 6 million systems over the last, how long has it been out? Like a week and a half now? 2 weeks?
It's such a questionable console too.
It is, but people are enjoying it. They are really having fun with the new Mario Kart game, and those that are buying Donkey Kong are saying it's probably one of the best new IPs. Well, IP styles, I guess, that has been popping out. So I don't know. If you're a fan of Nintendo, have fun, but miss me with it until it goes on sale.
Well, yeah, I'm definitely not dropping that kind of money anytime soon.
Especially with PS6 being announced at a rumored $750.
I mean, I haven't bought the PlayStation 5, so there's that.
Yeah. I mean, the PlayStation 6 does interest me on the grounds that it is going to be way more powerful, but with the PS5...
And then I have to start my library all over again. Like, I'm not doing it.
If it has a disc tray, that motherfucker better have an emulator that can play a PlayStation 2 game.
The PlayStation 5 has a disc tray and can't do that.
That's what I'm saying. I want the next gen to play the gen that I like. Because how many?
They want to sell you the game that you already bought 3 times over. They want to sell it to you a 4th time for $60
or 80. But how many PS5 exclusive games can you think of aside from Last of Us? Because that was technically a gen prior.
Was the most recent God of War PlayStation 5 exclusive?
Was.
Spider-Man 2.
I'll give you that.
I
have one in mind.
So yeah, the most recent God of War, Spider-Man 2.
And both of those are now on Steam, by the way.
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, I forgot that franchise existed.
It's fair when Guerrilla Games...
I'm not trying to be shitty. It's just like I never finished the first game, and I haven't really put any thought into it since then because I'm not spending the insane amount of money they want for the consoles.
That's fair. That's 100% fair. The new Horizon... Horizon interests me. It's just, I don't want to drop that money. I feel like there's a couple more, but it's like there's not that many. Meanwhile, you look over at Xbox, we just got Doom, Indiana Jones. Later on this year, we're getting Outer Worlds 2. Like, these guys are dropping things for current consoles.
I mean, there's got to be more than that. We're just not thinking of them because we're not on those consoles. Like, there's no way there is.
Let me swipe this over here real quick. PS5 exclusives. Let's see here. Astrobot. Okay. Demon Souls, the remake.
I forgot about Astrobot.
Bit of a stretch, but I'll give it to you. Rise of the Ronin. Okay. Ghost of Tsushima. Okay. Um, and then there's other exclusives, but it's also released on PC. But yeah, this is a list of, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 games, 2 of which seem like they're remakes.
And you could also argue that technically Xbox doesn't have any exclusives
They don't.
because everything they do gets a PC port.
Mm, I mean, as I'm looking at it, the only ones that I would say that are deserving of those PC ports is Black Myth Wukong, that PS5 console exclusive, but also on PC.
Isn't
Um,
that about to hit Xbox finally?
I think so, but I'm not 100% on
Yeah,
that.
I'm pretty sure it is. I feel like
Okay.
I keep seeing ads every time I turn on the Xbox.
Okay. Helldivers 2.
Yeah, one people are asking for, a crossover on that they won't do.
V Rising. Vampire the
Vaguely
Masquerade.
remember that.
It was very Van Helsing-ish with Diablo-looking graphics. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the look of it, but yeah, I never popped into it.
Yeah.
It just dropped on Steam not
Here
too
we go.
long ago.
Black Myth Wukong, August 19th.
Okay. Okay.
So
Cool.
yeah,
I'm
it'll hit Xbox August 19th.
hopefully it goes to Game Pass. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But as I'm
I
looking
don't
at
think it is.
as I'm looking at this list, yeah. Final Fantasy 16. I forgot about that one. As I'm looking at this list, once again, it's still not enough for me to purchase a PS5. Mm-mm. Shadow of the Colossus, I would definitely go back to if they did an RTX style major upgrade to it. But
I
yeah,
mean, I played it on the PlayStation 4, and it was the exact same game that it was on the previous consoles. It even
right.
had the same bug. It was just a re-render.
I'm glad when they carry over the bugs or the mm, favored issues, I guess you can call them.
This was a fucking spot that you just repeatedly fall off of because it's not fucking done right.
Oh, texture issue. Gotcha.
When
Mm.
when you're doing no, it's when you're doing one of the Colossus climbs, you have to grab onto a certain section of the Colossus, and it's just, the grabbable part isn't actually grabbable. You have to
Firmly
kind of
grasp
really,
it.
yeah, you have to really finagle it to do it right.
Gotcha. But even still, eh, I just hope that the PS6 is gonna be worth it in the end, just because hardware is advancing way drastically. We
I
now
mean, what the
have.
fuck's the point of the hardware when you can't play anything? You're playing games that already exist on current hardware,
Oh no,
or
I mean, give me an ability to replay PS2 games. Give me an availability to have
no,
an
nothing.
availability to buy a PS1 game. Go and buy the 4 disc copy of Final Fantasy VII. Pop the first disc in there, and it'll play it.
They're not going to do it for two reasons. One, because they would say it has to be done through an emulator, so they'd have to go through and relicense everything, and they're not going to spend the money and time to do it. That's what Xbox had to do for everything they made backwards compatible. They had to go through and do the emulator and do the relicensing. They're not going to do it for that one reason alone. But two, people have proven time and again that they will buy an Xbox, buy a PlayStation, and then rebuy the game they already own at the stupid price because they want to play it on the new console because the new console is so much faster, so much prettier. But like you're also playing a game from fucking 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Like it's no
Yeah,
different. How many times did they fucking remaster The Last of Us? Don't get me wrong.
we're at 6.
How many times did they? How many times did they fucking remaster Skyrim? So I mean, also a fair argument, but at least Skyrim isn't an exclusive.
And I'm not siding with Todd Coward, but I am gonna side with the fact that at least with one of the re-releases of Skyrim, they updated the game. They brought up 4K textures. They brought up better AI adaptability. They did quality of
You're
life
still doing
changes.
4K textures though on textures that were made on an older
Oh no,
system that doesn't run that.
oh no. Well, true, but no. When Special Edition came out, no, they bumped it up to only Series SX, PC, and PS5. They bumped those up to the higher ended margins. They said this will play the 4K, this will play the higher ended textures and better overall. And It does. It does well. I got it for free because I was one of the.
But you're still just looking at a game that was made made for an Xbox 360.
Yes, with better looking textures. Yes.
But it still doesn't look like a game that was made for the current Xbox.
Mm, arguable, but it looks better to me.
That's like, I'm not saying it doesn't look better. I'm saying it's not worth $60 fucking.
Oh no, God, no, 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 no. This is
Because
why
it's
I
the
wish it was just like
exact
a.
same game.
I wish it was a
There's nothing.
purchasable upgrade. If it was just like a
Yeah,
$20 upgrade,
ten
I would have
bucks.
been fine with
To
it. I got
ten
it for
bucks
fun.
upgrade. Yeah, sure.
I don't know how, but I got it for free, and I was proud of that. I was like, "Fucking give me that shit."
Something like that where it's like, oh, it's just a graphic up, but $5-10. Like I'm not paying $40 for that. I'll just play the game looking quote ugly. Like fuck
Yeah.
that. But it's the remake versus remaster argument we've had, or conversation we've had in the past about like how much better and how different Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4 are versus the repeated HD re-renders of Devil May Cry and Metal Gear Solid and whatnot. Now we're actually getting one of the remakes, Metal Gear. At least then it's worth spending the money spent to buy a new game. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing to sell me if they actually are doing a PlayStation 6. There's nothing to sell me on.
Yeah,
And also, the amount of people I know that have PlayStations and they like, oh, I play Madden on it and I play Fortnite on it.
Yep. Yeah, that's the other issue that I've heard about the PlayStation. It's either
It's an insanely expensive console to play, one, a free game, and two, a game that, again, you spend $60 on every year just to get an updated roster.
Yep. It's wacky to me that they'll be like, yeah, I play Helldivers. That's one of the games that pops in
At
my
least then
mind.
it actually is something that's exclusive.
Right. And I was like, all right, cool. And then it's Fortnite, FIFA, WWE 2K25, or another game that is released everywhere else. And I'm like, then why support Sony unless there's something on the market front that allows you to right now be able to go back and buy old Sony games like it did with the PS3. PS3 you're available.
But again, yeah, you can go and buy old games on it for fucking $40, $50, $60 for a game that you probably already have a disc of.
Believe it or not, it was fairly priced when it was on the PS3. I know I own a lot of PS1 classics on my PS3, and I loaded them all up there. I could plug it in and just play fucking Final Fantasy 7 off the. Well, I don't think I own 7. I think I have like 8. But I could play Jet Set Radio. I could play, all the old good classics. And I only paid, I think, maximum 15, which is still a little bit to play something, you're right, I already own.
Okay, so I'll give you. I pulled it up. They have a sale going on, and some of these are priced before the sale. So you can do time splitters, all three of them.
Ooh.
They're $10 each. Current sale $249 each if you have premium.
Now, see, that's not
Ratchet and
bad.
Clank Size Matters, $10, but that was one that was made for the PSP and didn't port over well.
Oh, really? Right.
Daxter, $10. Yeah, okay, some of these are pretty cheap, but this is looking at PlayStation 1 games.
Okay.
Medieval, $10, but I mean, if I was going to do Medieval, wouldn't I just do the remake?
Oh, it's not the remake? Oh.
I don't think so. I mean, I pulled up classics. I would think that wouldn't be in the classic catalog.
That's fair.
Because the actual section they call classic catalog. I think this is the original.
But with the announcement of the PlayStation 6, do you want to know what they threw out at people? Wolverine. They were like, yeah, this is going to probably be on their day one, I think.
Oh, the one that... Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, the one that they teased a while back and then we've been waiting to hear something else on?
Yeah, the one where he's wearing the I keep forgetting the name of that stylish shirt. The picnic style.
Gingham.
But
well, in his case, it would be... He's probably wearing a flannel.
Flannel? Yeah, okay. So like a flannel, like rolled up sleeves shirt and with his arms all grizzled. Flannel. Yeah, that
Last of Us Remastered is in the classics catalog.
Slams head on table
for $20.
I mean, that's not bad, but No, stop selling that. To the people who like that game, I appreciate you, but stop, stop purchasing
Heavy
this.
Rain is in the classics titles under on there for 30.
Is it the re-release that dropped not too long ago? The one that got the better textures?
No,
Because if it's 30, you can still
no,
purchase it
this
on a
is the
Humble Bundle.
2016 version.
Okay, yeah, you can purchase it on a Humble Bundle for $8.
Now, if you want to throw it into a collection, they got Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls together for 40. But yeah,
I wasn't a
so
big fan of
30 for a game for Heavy Rain when anyone that had a PlayStation 3 probably had fucking Heavy Rain.
Heavy
Let's
Rain
be
was
honest.
it's the only game that I like from Page. No, yes.
Yeah, putting that to the side. Um, you could, instead of being able to put it in the disc you already have, you have to spend $30 to play it.
Right.
Why?
I don't know. I wish I could answer that for Sony, or actually, I wish I could ask Sony that so we can get a definitive answer. Because
Just let me play what I own.
I would love to play what I own. I mean, I can if I had a Series X, I can put in one of my 4 Xbox One games in there and be able to play that.
And don't get me
But if
wrong,
I
Xbox isn't perfect on this. There's plenty that you can't do, but that's because they went emulator instead of hardware. And so when you're doing emulator, like you run into the licensing problem, which I understand. But a lot of these PlayStation things, Sony owns.
yeah, and also some of the copyright has actually fallen off of some of this. So it's like you could technically do an emulator of it. I don't know if it would be legal, but you would be within your rights to do so.
Here's one. So anything you own. So the PlayStation 3 lets you buy. Um, the PlayStation 3 lets you buy PlayStation 1 games.
Mm-hmm.
If you own those in your, because you're still using your same Sony account all these years later.
Mm-hmm.
If you own those on your PlayStation 3, you cannot play those digital games you own on your PlayStation 3 on your PlayStation 5.
Correct.
You have to rebuy them.
As far as I know, correct. Now, luckily, the PlayStation 3 could play PlayStation 1 games off of disc, but
I'm not even talking disc at that point. These are things you digitally own.
yeah,
It's a fucking key.
yep. Actually, can I log into my Sony account and see
If I bought a game digitally on my Xbox 360, I can still play it on my Xbox Series X.
I just want to see if I can look at my game list.
How did we get here? We got here from something to do with Palworld.
Yeah, something PS6, something. I don't remember, but yeah, we wound up going down the line. In short,
And I love that
sorry.
the PlayStation diehards are always like, yeah, but the sells your console. Okay, just because a piece of crap outsells doesn't make it more valuable. Like you still bought this thing for some reason.
Yeah.
And aren't getting at all what you should. Like the money you spent on these consoles, you should be being given a lot more than what you were given on the PlayStation.
I really worry about where we're going as far as technologically advancing, where it's like, okay, cool. Xbox is saying there's now an Xbox branded MetaQuest 3S. I'm like, okay, it's the same MetaQuest I own, but now branded in Microsoft. Okay. Like, there's nothing added to it. It's just Microsoft branded. Why did we add that? Why did we add the fact that it's okay? So does it do anything special with the Xbox Series? As far as I know, not really. You can play your Xbox titles on there through Game Pass. Okay.
Well, yeah, that's that's why it's branded then.
But there's no VR titles on an Xbox.
Everything in Xbox and everything's. Who fucking wrote this article? Ethan Gatch for Kotaku. I don't understand everything's an Xbox, including this Meta Quest. Oh, I think okay. Meta Quest 3 that costs $100 more and can't play your Xbox games. So if it can't, then what's the point? Let's see the breakdown on this.
Yeah. See, when I was reading it, I got super fucking confused and confuddled because I was like, I don't understand where the
So they go on to
changes.
say the entry level MetaQuest 3S 128 gigabytes currently $300. The Xbox version will be 400, but comes with a limited edition Xbox controller and in addition to standard Touch Plus controls and 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate. This is, in Microsoft's words, quote, everything you need to start gaming on a massive virtual display the moment you open the box. That's primarily because the MetaQuest 3S can stream a selection of Game Pass games that support cloud gaming like Elder Scrolls or Oblivion Remastered. The pitch for Microsoft is start a game on your MetaQuest 3S Xbox Edition, pick up where you left off on your console, and continue the adventure with Xbox on PC without ever losing your achievements or your saved data, which I like that personally. It's a cool idea in theory, but the caveat is limited to streaming your games that already support Play Anywhere. The same deal impacts the upcoming Xbox Ally Rogue PC gaming handheld. Custom Windows experience designed to feel like playing an Xbox, but it can't play existing Xbox only releases. Lots of big games like Cyberpunk 2077, Elden Ring, and Assassin's Creed Shadows don't support Play Anywhere, meaning you'll purchase the game twice. I'd love it if that weren't the case, but for now it is until those gaps are filled. Well, I mean, that's something that can be down the line. So yeah, basically, it's you can play any of your VR stuff that does streaming, or not VR stuff, any of your Xbox stuff, Game Pass stuff that does streaming. Which I don't understand playing non-VR.
I don't either.
But that's how I felt for a while now. Like when they first were like, Doom's on VR, I was like, why? Skyrim's on VR. Why? Fallout's on VR.
Well,
Why?
hold on. The Skyrim VR version adds a few quality of life changes that I've heard was a little bit better, but I just don't like moving around in VR where it makes me feel very strange because every time I jump, I
But the
feel like
thing
my
is,
knees are gonna give out.
it's just a headset on your fucking head while you're using a controller because these VRs, it's not like you can run through Skyrim. It's not. It would be different if a MetaQuest was something where I could run in place and it sensed me running in place, and that's how I moved my character. It's not. So it's just a screen on my fucking eyeballs
Mhm.
with me holding a controller in my hand. Just a really close screen. That's all it is. And yeah, I can look around with my head.
Yep,
But I'm already holding the controller in my hand, so I'm most likely not even going to think to do that. I'm going to think to use the joystick.
sounds about right. I mean, you can do that. You just now have a headset on your head. It is it is interesting
There's
to
just
know that
no point to it.
this is the way that we're trying to market things, PSVR and the MetaQuest 3S with Xbox's collaboration. I don't know. I just, as said, I hope that the technology begins to advance a little bit more in an exponential way instead of in the linear way that we're at. I don't know. Hope.
I've repeatedly explained that I'm not going to spend the money that it costs to do VR unless there's actually something worth VRing.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a couple of those games that are fun for a little bit, but then they very quickly stop being fun, and there's not enough games to bother with it.
I
Um,
I just recently got what is it? Sunset Arizona Sunrise?
Arizona Sunrise.
Yeah. I just recently got that. That's fun. It's fine. Um
Um,
very arena fighter with it, but it's fine.
yeah, and it's point and click to step forward, point and click to
Yes.
step forward.
It doesn't make me want to vom. Uh but with the a game that we'll talk about in a minute, I like its concept and I would like to do the point and click to move, but alas, I don't think that's an availability for it.
Someone needs to build an affordable that works well pad for me to walk on.
What is it, $600 for the walking VR treadmill? Nine
Oh, there's
hundred
a guy that's
dollars
yeah. I'm not spending nine hundred
with the
dollars to play a game.
with the shoes that help it grip on the thing.
I know I saw a guy that's using one of the ones that was like originally some kind of training thing for the military. Like it's a room, and he's using that as like his VR thing. That's pretty cool. But again, can you imagine how much he spent?
Yeah. So I can't look at my PS3 stuff. So I can at least, attest that the PS3 still has all my stuff there. No, it only allows me to look at PS4 and PS5.
Yeah, because you can't use it on the PlayStation 4 and 5.
Yeah.
They've decided the keys you own for some reason are not compatible with the new console. Because that's the thing. You release a version, so say you own, we'll just use Skyrim as an example. So you own Skyrim on the 3 digitally. They have a version of that game that is not the uprender, that is still the base version of that game.
Yeah.
On the 4, on the 5. And they're saying the key you own cannot activate those.
Yeah, no.
It's fucking stupid. All right, what's next on the list? I've bashed Sony.
Yeah, we'll keep kicking Sony later. Power Wash Simulator 2. I don't know who asked, but I'm glad that they made it. The game looks.
It did really pop off. I tried it. I can't.
It's a fun little time spender, cleaning up. You get a bunch of new tools. This is done from the last game was done in Unreal 4. This is done in Unreal 5, 5.2, I believe. And
considering that they've been releasing a lot of DLCs for this, and now they're announcing DLC, I wonder if there's going to be any kind of carryover if you're going to start all.
I mean, hopefully they'll do like a jump start where you get a few of the new materials, the new tools. Maybe. Hard to know. You can buy some stuff, clean it up, build your own area. You seem to be able to build your own little nest area, which is nice. And you can also pet the cat. We all like that. But late 2025, I hope that it isn't high priced about it. But
do we not have a pre-order on it? If it's late this year,
yeah, it just is later on. Longtail, looks to be an old school PS1 N64 style collectathon game with some pretty okay looking graphics. He walks kind of funny to me, but yeah, it's fine. Looks fun. Looks like a nice little puzzler.
That's how you walk. I'm just talking about.
With my hip literally breaking every time I take a full step. No, I don't think so, man.
Full rotation.
It looks fast. Looks, fun. I would need a little bit more from this one to get a full prognosis on it, but it does give a very, as you mentioned, what was it, Ratchet Clank you had mentioned?
Yeah, Skyrim, Ratchet and Clank, all those kinds of games from early PlayStation 2 era. Early to mid PlayStation 2 era. Back when a console lasted long enough for you to get 6 entries in a game before they decided to roll out the new console.
And have the most game releases on said console? Yeah.
You realize that, we got Spider-Man on the PlayStation 4.
Yep.
Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 5.
Yep.
And now we have no talk of Spider-Man 3 because they're working on Wolverine, and that's the thing they're using for the PlayStation 6. Like, we're literally getting one game per console. Don't get me wrong, we had Miles, and I love Miles. But they like Miles was like a middle game. Like, it wasn't like it wasn't a direct sequel type of thing. It was like it was smaller than Spider-Man.
Yep. They were giving us little tidbits. It was very similar, reminiscent of Infamous Second Son, the First Light DLC, and how it only was, I think, like 2.5 hours of content. It just they're giving us these little tiny bits of the what we think story, and then you pay, I think it was $15 for it. Now, if you go back further to the PS3 generation, Infamous 2, the Festival of Blood DLC, that was a good 9-10 hours of content for $20. That was fair. Well, I liked it personally, but yeah, I don't know. Content seems to be going up and down with add-ons nowadays.
Yeah, I just checked real quick. They released 6 Ratchet and Clank games on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, sounds about right. I remember seeing a bunch of them. I never played them. I should.
That was one of the franchises I went hard on my PlayStation
You
on my
mentioned.
PlayStation 2. But yeah, no, I'm just using that as like an example. Like 6 games from a franchise on a single console used to be a doable thing, and those all brought in new stuff. It had a new story. They were, only like 1 or 2 of those was like a little like rough.
I've heard. I've heard. Right now I'm going through Crash Bandicoot because I've never gone through Crash Bandicoot. I think I'm like a quarter of the way through the first game. It's fun. It's
Nice.
fine.
I
Very
played very
wow.
little of those growing up.
Very wow. And in the chat, Miss Ratchet and Clank. I heard they're working on another one, so I just don't know what consoles it's gonna be on. Long tail looks fine, looks fun. Once again, no time, no date, just a wish list on Steam. Hadoop.
It is expected to be a PlayStation 6 title as it's set for a 2029 release. Ratchet and Clank, that is.
Wow. We only get a whisper of the PS6, and we're getting confirms of games we potentially may want for a console.
Wolverine, Spider-Man 3, a Venom spin-off, Ratchet and Clank, and then some X-Men game.
That's fucked up,
Those
Sony.
are the big talks.
That's fucked up, Sony. How's your PS5 doing? Oh, okay. Anyways, Crab Meat, a very interesting voxel-esque game where you are a crab catcher and crab basher, and it's very interesting looking. Once you capture the crabs, you sort the crabs and hope that they don't try and take over your ship or try and destroy your ship. Um, it's very Dredge meets what's that one where you're on a boat and trying to escape like a slasher? I know there's a game that came out
I
not
have
too.
no idea.
But it does look very interesting. I would like to see more from this one. This is just a teaser trailer, so we don't really have too much. But I'm glad that they showed gameplay. But dupe. Windblown, we talked about this one. This one had the really graphic trailer that popped out at I forget the PAX. One of the PAX is on in December. We talked about it about then, and they've been updating the game since then, and they just showed off one of their quality of life changes called the gift update. Every run, you of course have a build you can have, and now in co-op you can give your ally one of your abilities and vice versa, making builds a lot more tougher and so on and so forth. While the game is gradually getting impossible because they have also added endless mode. The higher you go, the more things you can carry on to your next run. I can really appreciate a roguelike game that allows you to just hop into a game continuously. To just start up a run, finish a run, you can call it good there, or just load into another one. Difficulty spikes every which way. I can appreciate this, and this update came out as of yesterday, so I may check it out. It is. Let me go and check how much it is real quick. $25. I was correct. For $25, it's not a bad deal for a nice roguelike game. Badu. Quincy, you said you played the first Little Nightmares. What'd you think of it?
No, I didn't. I said I wanted to.
I played the
Yes,
first one.
I have not played them. I have wanted to. I have not.
Well, the third one's about to come out, come October 10th, 2025.
Yes, I know. I'm behind.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I highly recommend it. I've only played the first one. Second one has been on my list. I just haven't gone around to picking it up. It has released very recently on Game Pass, so now there's a reason to. Uh, for 11 minutes and 15 seconds over on the trailer for Little Nightmares 3, it shows a lot of the venues and some of the mechanics shown in Little Nightmares 3. Very, very dark game. Very lovely scenery, bits and bobs about it. I don't want to spoil a dang thing about it, but I do recommend if you happen to not be a fan, at least check out the trailer, take a peek at it. It looks fantastic. Badoop. Pardon me. Nox Mortalis. A game that kind of reminisced about the Heroes of Might and Magic series from the early 90s. When I'm sitting on an old Pentium 2 and just kind of clicky clacking at a computer game and not getting very far. Nox Mortalis definitely does feel like an old school computer game with a little bit of extra polish. That's also kind of rough to say because there's a lot of roughness in this. But I would definitely play this game. Oh yeah, I'd probably sit and spend hours in this game. Sadly, no price tag and sadly no release date. It just says go on wishlist now on Steam. It was available not at this last Next Fest, but the one before that in May, and I feel kind of bad for not checking it out. Did you have a Tamagotchi growing up, Quincy?
I had what was the other one?
Digimon?
No, Digimon was. Digimon probably, but there was
Tamagotchi and then
Gotchi.
I don't know.
There was another one.
I think I can see what you're seeing, but I don't know what they were called.
Thing like Tamagotchi. Let's see. Digimon Gigapet.
Okay.
I had a Gigapet.
You had a Gigapet. Okay.
I think I had one Tamagotchi and I broke it, and then I had a Gigapet and I broke that. My mom went, "I'm not buying these for you anymore."
That's fair. But did you at least like it in the time that you had them?
I was really bad about actually keeping them alive. So they're all right. I wasn't good at it.
Fair. How about one that is on your desktop? Would you be a little more mindful then?
Maybe.
Okay. Well, available today as we are speaking, Nanomon is now available. The Nanomon Virtual Monster runs just like a Tamagotchi, but with a few extra perks, with also a very interesting guidebook that is very reminiscent of the old school manuals that would be in a game packaging. Speaking of which, they went away with those a long time ago. Bit of a bummer, but a very interesting style of gameplay. You have a level up system, biblically accurate angels kind of thrown in there. If you got a couple extra bucks to spare and a interest in Tamagotchis while wanting to have one in the bottom left of your computer, why not? You can fish, you can farm, they poop, you can clean up the poop, you can fight, you can trade items. It has a lot of interesting features that a Tamagotchi wouldn't, but I don't know. It's got its charm, I'm sure. I don't. How much is this one? Hold on, let me go see how much it is real quick. I think it was on the front page too. Hey, it's best selling. Load in, please.
I don't know. I know that they have like mobile versions of this, and I haven't bothered to download any of them. I don't know that I would buy this.
Good news from the Next Fest of about a week and some change ago. There is a demo you can try out if you happen to want to check it out, but it is $13.49 right now. No, that's not too bad. I mean, I think regular Tamagotchis were like what, $25?
Oh, I have no idea. I was a kid. I didn't buy them.
That is fair.
that was a mom thing. She had to buy that shit so I could break it.
That is fair.
I dropped one of them in a glass of water, so I don't blame her for being mad at me at all.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh, was it thirsty?
To hear the story told, my response was I wanted to give it a bath.
Okay. Okay, so you're just being a young sprat. Gotcha.
Listen, man, I was in like kindergarten. All right?
Yeah. And the poops are bigger than the
First grade.
creature. That's a bit weird to me. But Nanomon dropped today $13.49 for a Tamagotchi clone that you can have on your desktop. Not a bad idea if you happen to like those kinds of things. I'm a huge fan of VR as a concept, not so much as an action to do, because it makes me a little dizzy. It makes me unwell. However, there is a game that does interest me very much called Hotel Infinity. And when I saw this game, I said, ooh, I love subliminal. I love the idea of continuously going in a direction, but not fulfilling a major deed. Very Stanley Parable, very there was another very I guess there's another liminal game called Subliminal, but I like it. I love it. If it doesn't look like it should fit in that box, but it does, boggles my mind. Makes me happy. Neurons spark off. I might actually pick this up. It is coming later on this year for the MetaQuest 3, where you just kind of hop into a hotel, grab a key, and try and find your room. And upon finding your room, there seems to be more in that area. Hopefully, a murder mystery. Hopefully, a little less of the non-storytelling and adds a little bit of story when gameplay begins. How do you feel about subliminal stuff, Q?
I don't understand most of it.
You know, mess with it. Fair enough. But do Hotline Miami, but with military tactics. That's basically the best way I can really proclaim about Phantom Squad. You and up to 3 friends can kind of get together and either breach and clear or tactically take things out. I can appreciate a game that's
2 to the front just walked straight into bullet hell.
yeah. They wanted to show how this game works. How you can throw a flashbang in and then try and enter that one, and oh no, the hostage was killed. We need to find a new way in. And then you're like, we can buy a heartbeat sensor, see how many units are in there, type thing. I can appreciate all the tactics and formidability to drawing your entrance, splitting up, entering in different points, and clearing rooms. I can appreciate that. I don't think I'm going to get this game, but I am going to keep my eye on it. It does seem very fun. However, a game I'm definitely going to keep an eye on because of how weird it was. Chains of Lucomar. Mori?
Yeah, I got nothing on that one.
That's fair. A very interesting Scotsman, from what I could tell from the accent. Dutchman, maybe? Hard to tell. Is walking through a battlefield of toward the end of the First World War, and there's a crystal palace far beyond the reach, and you get both gun and magical powers from a witch, it seems. And it kind of, when I was watching this, I kind of leaned forward and I said, okay, this seems fun. This seems like it's going back to like an old school buddy cop, I hate you, but I'm here to help you type of ordeal. And with old World War style weapons and intrigue, I'm going to keep my eye on this one. I would like to see more of its story before I go saying anything, because, I mean, it only gave us 2 major interactions between the main character and this Crow Witch, I guess is the best way I'll put it. But I'm here for it. I am actually very much here for this style of game. What do you think, you?
It does look interesting. I'd like to see more, but it does look kind of interesting. All the arrows are interesting. The Emerald City of Oz looking thing up there is interesting.
I good call on that. And also these strange Viking warriors that pop out of fucking nowhere.
We call it a Viking?
I mean,
I don't know what we call that. Yeah.
Let me get a better image of him.
The cat is apparently mad about something. I don't know if you guys can hear him yelling out there.
I sure can. And me too. I don't know, I just saw the runes on his shoulders and kind of was like, maybe? He's got like a horn down here, two like axes. I don't know. Very
I don't know.
interesting.
It's interesting for sure.
Also, if you're not a big fan of dogs being harmed in video games, this one definitely not for you. Any other gaming things? You said you've been playing something, you? Ooh.
Okay, you there?
Yeah.
Okay. What did you say?
Oh, you've been playing something, you?
Not. I played one night, but yes.
Okay.
Because you mentioned Mickelson, Le Chiffre, mission on Hitman. I was like, you know what? I do love Hitman. I was a Bond fan, and I'm a Mickelson fan, and the whole thing just seems fun and cool. And so I decided to jump on, and I haven't played the game in a couple of years. And so there was a game mode on there that I didn't know about, which was like the safe house game mode, where now these syndicates of like organizations and whatnot building a safe house, which is kind of cool. But I've not actually got back on since the first night of playing it, which was I don't know, Saturday, Sunday, something like
Hmm. Well, hopefully you
that.
can go kill the chief.
Yeah, I still have to get on there and take him out because I think I've got 11 days left to do that.
I popped on to TikTok and they did a run through of a quarter of that mission. Man, the IO devs are fucking smart as fuck.
There's some interesting stuff in those games, dude. I'm telling you.
I might actually hop into. I only played Blood Money. I never played anything else, and I don't even think No, I did finish Blood Money. I did finish Blood Money because it ends off in the funeral home, right?
Yeah,
Okay, then yeah.
but that's PlayStation 2. Since then, we got the other Hitman game, Absolution, which wasn't great.
No.
It kind of, well, it kind of took all the things that make Hitman fun and took it away because like they were like so focused on the story in that one, and it was just like guys, like kind of hurting like games. And they seem to have realized that, came back and did Hitman.
What about the 2016 Hitman?
Yeah, so they came back and they did Hitman, which was really good, and then they did the follow up to that one, which was really good. Then they did the third one to that one, which was really good. And then they combined them all and they just call it Hitman World of Assassination now. It's like it's 1, 2, and 3 together. A lot of it is free, and then it's like the special things that you can buy on it now.
Oh,
yeah.
Neat. How would you say Hitman 2 Silent Assassin is? Because I own it, but I never played it.
I like it. So my first Hitman game was Hitman 2 Silent Assassin. No, my first one was Chronicles.
Okay.
And then I went and I played Hitman 2. So Chronicles takes like the better missions of Hitman because the first Hitman game had its problems. Mm-hmm. So Chronicles goes back and takes like the better missions from that and puts it into kind of a more polished up, better, well done game.
Okay.
Hitman 2 is good. A lot of the missions aren't what I like about Hitman. Because like there's like 3 or 4 missions in that like are in a row where like literally the health and ammo and whatnot from the previous mission goes to the next one. Because like you're like working your way through this like this like multiple level thing. I think of the earlier stuff, Blood Money is the best. And then when they redid the game with Hitman, and they did Hitman 2, Hitman 3, and now just calling it World of Assassination, I think that's been the best iteration across the board.
I'm going to hope that, hopefully by the end of this week, the Steam Summer Sale might pop up, and I may grab a copy of World of Assassination. That seems like an idea. But now it is time for, sadly, not a lot of shoe news. Crocs, baby. So Stray Rats adds a fuzzy leopard print to this interesting original Croc, and some interesting gibbets. A nice little punk rat on one, a little bit of the sewer crew. Rat girl in a very interesting font. Not quite Comic Sans, but close enough. And then a Punisher with some spikes popping off of it. That was what kind of drew me to it, the original.
Of course it is.
But what about this closed-toed croc right here. What about this one? No?
No, the whole thing's still ugly.
Oh.
And then this, because it's not actually a croc, doesn't even have the inner croc things that they claim are the things that are the whole reason to wear crocs in the first place, because they're so ergonomical and good for your feet.
I mean, yeah, sure, I suppose. Closing off the air holes does mean it has less breath.
You're taking the whole reason to wear Crocs and removing it and just keeping the ugly bits of Crocs.
Sure. But it comes
It
in
doesn't make any sense.
It comes in a nice little Lisa Frank style print. You sure you don't like it?
I'm good.
You're good. $80 drops on tomorrow, June 26th.
There's a document. I think it's a documentary. I'm double checking real quick. Glitter and Greed, the Lisa Frank story.
Oh.
It's like a multi-episode thing. I think it's on Prime. About like the true stuff behind it, because like I think that one of the big things is that the person that was like the face of all of it was not the person.
Oh.
But I don't know. I haven't actually watched it yet, so it's been on my list to get around to.
I still need to see the second Sherlock Holmes movie with what's his name? I might switch up and watch that instead. We'll see. There's a lot of things I need to watch. New animes are going to be dropping soon also. Ugh. But speaking of things to watch, something that was announced at the time of the movie dropping, because they said that they were doing a sequel, but we didn't have a confirm of when that sequel.
Just took a little bit.
This took a little bit. Mel Brooks's Spaceballs now has a sequel. Announcement for it. 2027 is all we have as far as Mel Brooks does a little bit of a talk about saying, well, I did say there was gonna be one. Apparently,
I mean,
most of the cast is coming back.
That gives it a good, release date though, because that puts it 40 years after the original.
Oh yeah, and I'm curious if they're actually going to be able to do the product marketing where they can actually have merchandise this time around, because
I'm sure
that would blow up. People really like Spaceballs. When you showed it to me, I enjoyed it. It was very funny, very enjoyable.
It's not my favorite of his movies, but it is up there.
Yeah. Young Frankenstein?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blazing Saddles is also up there.
Blazing Saddles is up there too. You showed me that one also. But dupe. Over at the Final Fantasy store at Square Enix store, I'm sorry. Final Fantasy 14, a single silver ear cuff from. Sorry, every time I glance at the price, it still kind of impacts the brain. It is $400 for this really nice looking ear cuff, but I don't know. They sell figures for $100, $120. Those have some good detail to it. Ear cuff, a single ear cuff. I don't know. Does look.
I do find it interesting. I feel like high quality nerd jewelry isn't the thing it should be.
I also think that. I also think that there could be more better out there. But there's a few other interesting pre-orders, such as the Ultimate Final Fantasy XIV Online Cookbook Volume 2. I've read bits and bobs of the first one. I can really appreciate the second one that's coming out. It has a lot of the in-game transcribed, of course, because you're not going to find a Marlboro breast or anything like that. So, kind of got to make do with non-Avalis style ingredients. But $35 for the cookbook. It's definitely going to be on the list. I have not played a lot of Final Fantasy 14s. I don't know. Not far down on the list as
Which
far
one
as
was 14?
The online one.
Yeah, I haven't played any of it.
Yeah. I heard it's fun. I heard it's just a little big time spender, but I heard it's fun. But dupe. Going back over to the Street Fighter movie, an odd announcement popped out yesterday. I believe I found this one. 50 Cent is going to be playing Balrog the Boxer. And both Quincy and I had the same thing of, well, that's an interesting choice.
I mean, I'm curious to see him do it.
I am
They,
also curious.
he's done a good chunk of acting. Um, he has video games, so doing a video game movie.
Hmm. What
It'd
was
be
it called?
curious.
What was it called? Live Free or
I don't remember.
Die Trying? Get Rich or Die
There was
Trying.
more than one of them.
Yeah, that's right. But did he help out with the Def Jam games?
I don't think so.
I only see him in Fight for New York. But he definitely does enjoy his video games. I mean, man,
50 Cent Bulletproof.
Bulletproof. That's it. I I
What was
want
the
to
other
see a
one?
trailer. I want to see a goddamn trailer. But this is still in pre-production, so we'll probably see a trailer
Was it
probably
just the one?
December.
I thought he did more than one game.
I want to say he helped out with another. Like I can maybe Mark Echo, the Getting Up Mark Echo game. Maybe he helped out with that one. Like it's kind of sparking somewhere.
I don't know.
Hmm. But probably by December, we should see maybe a first look at some of these people in their costumes. We'll see. I'm still very curious on how they're going to handle Roman Reigns. But over at geekyjerseys.com, a really nice looking The Thing jersey. And I'm not too big on jerseys, but if I were to purchase one, this could possibly be one of them. Really
Smack the mic. My bad.
Yeah, it's okay. Now, act quickly because some of these are limited, such as this is officially licensed by The Thing Productions, I would assume, and it is only available by 100. So you only can purchase this until 100 is done, and then they're shipped out. That's kind of cool, but at the same time, 100, that's it? There's a lot of other designs that I really enjoyed, such as let's go down to where is it? The Dungeons Dragons one's cool. Where did the fucking Godzilla one's cool too? Oh, this is page 2. I don't know why it started up on page 2. There it is. The Maverick Hunters, which for those who are keenly eared, Maverick Hunters is a part of the Mega Man X series to be exact. And I can really appreciate that. Your jersey will come with the Mega Man X number 93. 93 being, I believe, the year that Mega Man X was dropped. So that's kind of cool. I like the arm pins, both of the Mavericks and the Omegas. I don't remember. I don't remember what that one was, but I can actually really appreciate these geeky jerseys. They're both positively geeky and well, a jersey overall. A nice Mothra one in a nice brown and what would you call this? Like a tan khaki?
Man, you can't ask me colors.
That you are right. I am so sorry. But on the patch it says "Too divine to love, shatter the sky," and I really like that patch. If you could just purchase the patch alone, that would be super cool. But I think it comes with this. Once again, only 100 available. $140 for most of them. Some of them are a little bit cheaper at 130, 135. All these are hand embroidered, so handmade products done right. I can appreciate this one. Go check them out at geekyjerseys.com. They also have a really nice Bebop and Rocksteady one. Camp Crystal Lake Killers. There's a lot of geeky ones in this.
Boxed Lunch does a lot of baseball jerseys. Like nerdy baseball
Goodbye,
jerseys.
horses. Oh, sorry. Badoop.
It's another one that's on there.
Yes, a lot of Kevin Smith stuff I had made a mention of, and I mean a lot of Kevin Smith stuff. Yeah, Kevin Smith stuff. Little People from Mattel dropped out a very interesting collaboration with Deadpool. You get a Deadpool Little People that you can work with your Little People set, and either would he kill all the other little people, or would he hang with them and have chimichangas or tacos?
I mean, he'd probably hang with them and have chimichangas. I mean, he doesn't just kill for the sake of it.
You're right. You're right. I'm sure he would find a reason to do so, though. But this neat little video through Mattel Creations has a nice little video of all the interesting ones, such as Deadhead farmer pool. I think that's the dead. What is it? Dead girl? Dead pool girl? Dead. I forget her name.
Female Deadpool. I don't know.
Yeah, female Deadpool, and then just a regular Deadpool, which I can appreciate all of the
Lady Pool.
lady
I
pool.
don't know why
Thank
my
you.
brain couldn't do that.
I also couldn't, but I'm glad you did. Stop you. But oh, this is also going to be available at the San Diego Comic-Con where they're going to announce it. But doop. Cheese Grommet. Wallace and Gromit set is available or going to be available soon through Lego. I'm curious to see their minis. Probably gonna have probably no stud on the top of his head, so none of his like interesting bowler cap. Uh, I don't know. Aside from their house, if they do their house, I want a fucking Rube Goldberg machine.
It's gotta have the whole like wake up machine.
I hope either the wake up machine or the breakfast ready machine. But I want to see it. I want to see it. But one thing we did get an announcement for that we got kind of a sneak peek at. X-Files gets Lego. Wasn't expecting it, but I'm glad. It comes with a nice little office down below where you see file cabinets and all the conspiracy jargon pieces. And I believe it has a Mulder placard on the front of the desk. And then above it, you have Mulder and Scully running into a gray alien. I'm unsure.
There were the post I saw showed a few different of the monsters they deal with. Like they have the guy that can squeeze himself through the vents and a few other things.
Oh, is that what's going on down there? Maybe, perhaps. But
Oh
this
yeah,
set
probably.
but this set looks really fun. This set looks great. The trees look really good comparative to their prior trees of only being like 2 inches tall. So plus rep to whoever's designing these trees. The spaceship, looks fine. Having the little beam hold it up, once again, very fine. I like this set. This set looks like it's going to be
Set.
probably 150 though for all of the specialty Lego.
I mean, it's got a lot of minifigs, so I don't know.
Got a lot of minifigs. Hopefully we get a price tag in the near future. Maybe during San Diego Comic-Con, maybe during the New York Comic-Con. We'll see. But available over at Lego, we have the Simpsons Krusty Burger. We got the early images of it, and I like the finished product of it. Comes with Homer, Lisa, Bart. I don't remember the deputy's name.
Lou.
Krusty, I don't even remember the prepubescent worker boy.
Squeaky Voice Teen.
Squeaky Voice Teen?
Oh wait, yeah. Wait, which cop is it? Which deputy is it? Oh yeah, that's Lou. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Because there's more than one deputy.
Okay. And Sideshow Bob with a pie. And not wanting to kill Bart, oddly enough.
Oh, I see the Squeaky Voice Teen now. I didn't see him at first because the couch is blocking it on the stream.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. So yeah, I saw Krusty. I was like, I don't see the Squeaky Voice Teen.
Very, very cool. The roof comes off, so you get a drop down look at the Krusty Burger. No one still knows what it's made out of, and yet it's positively delicious. Comes with a interesting Krusty mobile that the family can drive in. Strange that you don't get the family's vehicle, but it's fine. It's fine. Very interesting looking extra pieces that come with it. This is $200. Wait, checking. $209.99 for 1,635 pieces. Oh, it also has the Rib Witch. But dupe. I like gambling. And what more fun could I have with gambling than opening up little gotcha balls having little minifigures in them? For $180, I can fulfill that dream by dropping in Lego coins into a Lego minifigure vending machine and getting a little minifigure and building them up. That's kind of cool. I actually really appreciate this. You get 20. Let me see if there's an image of all. Yeah, there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. You get 16 minifigures, all with neat little things to place in their hands, such as cameras, shields, pistols, treasure maps, wrenches, coins, ice cream cones, etc., etc. That's not too bad.
etc. etc.
Etc.
etc.
Etc. And that is all I have for today.
That's all I got. It was a
Damn it.
quiet week.
It was a very quiet week. Usually during the week, I usually can pick and prod things from my Twitter or through the emailing sources, but not a lot, which is kind of weird. Hopefully, next week we should have the Steam Summer Sale, so I'll talk very briefly about it. But
8 billion things on sale. Have a good day.
yeah, with the 8,900 things on Steam, I'm sure all of them except for like 4 things are on sale. I bet you Factorio ain't gonna go on sale, and that's gonna tick me off a little bit. But say la vie. Anything else you got, Q?
That's it, bud.
Alrighty, let's clear that. Thank you guys for joining us. Remember to like and subscribe where you can. Remember to check Quincy out on his threads. Have you been posting anything?
Nope.
I've been posting things on my Twitter, just a bunch of really cool wrestling things. I didn't know Hideo Kojima was a wrestling fan, but he did a nice little memorial for a wrestler who hung up their boots recently over the weekend. And he took some real good shots of the match. Remember, check out Zenny. They're holding their 4th of July sale a little bit early, where you can buy one, get one, I believe, half off on their metal stuff, as well as their vibrant ones, and if their renew, reuse, I forgot the other but their
Reduce.
eco blue reduce. Thank you. Reuse, reduce, yes. Their eco bloom set that is using recycled goods in order to build either their plastic, paper, or metal versions, ones that are highly durable and very nice in design. Buy 2, and I believe you get free shipping. Either that or it is $80 free shipping. Remember to check out Humble Bundle, of course. Get some cool shit for super inexpensive while also having out charity. Hero Forge does not have any deals still, but if you happen to have a D&D session coming up and you want to look snazzy, you can always purchase one through there. If you have a 3D printer, you can get an STL file for only $5. And that's about it. At the end of days, at the end of weeks, at the end of months, at the end of years, please, for the love of God, love one another. It's getting a little bit harder to do, but please try. Night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
I was taking a drink.